Yeah, I would tell you the most important thing is he has prepared himself. He's had the opportunity to play an important role on the teams that those guys were seniors. 2 years ago, he had a very good year, but he had a tremendous Valley tournament, played well late in the year as he did last year. But and that was a big change year for us. We were just above, I think it was 16 and 15 the year before, and then went to 30 and 4, 30 and 5, whatever that ended up being. Well, Jeremy was a big part of that, as a full-time starter. The one thing that's fluctuated with him has been, how many points he's scored, really. Outside of that, what he's done defensively, how he's impacted the basketball game in all areas, I think that's been pretty well talked about, pretty well documented over the past 2 years in particular. And his offense was limited at times by having the 5 seniors 2 years ago, having Wes and Bo and Paul last year, and he would, when we needed him, he would show up and take on more in terms of his offense. And now this year, we've just got to figure out where to put him. He's going to get more opportunities. We just got to get him in the right spots. But he's most ready because he's worked hard and he's prepared himself. He's a tremendous young man on and off the floor, and that helps when you're in charge. And then he's had great role models. So I think all of those things will play into it for him.
How you talk about the offensive opportunity, but how do you make sure he keeps up? He's such a good, maybe one of the best defenders in the Valley. How do you make sure Jeremy kind of keeps that intensity too?
Yeah, that's a tricky deal. When you're in Jeremy's shoes and you know that you're responsible now for doing more offensively, and trying to figure out exactly what that means isn't easy. You've got to go through some workouts and go through some practices and see how different that it is going to be. And he and I talked about it a little bit, Andrew, that because we need him to score more doesn't mean we need him to do less of the other things. Everything he was doing that has made him such a good player in our league, he's got to be able to do all those things and do them a little better. And now he's going to have to score some more points for us. So he's just got more to do. And Jeremy understands that. Now, just because he understands it, there's still going to be a learning curve, and there's still going to be a process. And because part of it isn't just him figuring out how to score more. Part of it is him understanding that he is the guy, which means he's got responsibility for helping the other players too. It isn't just about him getting more shots, getting more points. How can he create more offense for the guys around him? And how does he make sure that the guys around him know that he trusts them? He knows that they have the ability. And I think he learned that we all did last year. When we got turned around again, a big part of that was the older guys trusting and encouraging the younger guys. So as I've talked about, he's ready, but there'll be a learning curve.
You mentioned about how Jeremy's sophomore year, second half of the year is when he